What knowledge might save your life one day? If a rhino is running towards you, wait until the last second then sidestep out of the way. Rhinos cannot make sudden turns, and will give you a couple seconds head start to run in the other direction. Repeat as necessary. If you ever use boiled linseed oil to treat wood, don't leave soaked rags lying in the trash. They oxidize, and after a few hours can self-combust. If you feel chronically unwell all the time and you get told there is nothing wrong with you by your doctor, that you are suffering purely mental health problems or hypochondria, don't give up pushing for answers, unless you know subconsciously this is the case. Hypochondria is not as common as some physicians seem to think, and even if the problem was psychological or psychosomatic in nature, it is still a problem that needs dealing with. People know their own bodies, and know when something is wrong. There is a vast expanse of medical conditions that are possible and very difficult to diagnose. Doctors may only deal with some rare conditions once in a career or not at all, and won't automatically go there when considering your symptoms. I was told I was a hypochondriac for 10 years and everything was blamed on lifestyle and mental health. I went from the youngest international shipping director in my sector to practically bedbound and in terrible health and distress over 2 months at 21, and was told nothing was wrong for the next 10 years. Turned out I had a rare disease called Cushing's, which was damaging my heart, atrophying my brain, causing central hormonal obesity, constant infections and damage to my bones, and destroying my quality of life. I had almost zero testosterone in my body and a dangerous amount of cortisol stress hormone. It was left to get worse for a decade. Before the self-righteous lecture comment, this is not an indictment of the medical profession. These things are difficult, and not all doctors are the same. They do a great job most of the time, but doctors are human like everyone else and this makes them fallible. But if I gave up and didn't keep pushing, I wouldn't be here today. If you ever fall/get pushed down from the platform onto the rails at a subway station, try to roll under the platform. Many stations have space there, like little overhang, for exactly that reason. If you are ever bitten by a bat, raccoon, fox, or skunk, go directly to the hospital. There is no cure for rabies once it is fully onset. EMT here. If you're ever choking on food in a public venue, do not go to the restroom, to avoid causing a scene. Almost every death I've seen from people choking are found unconscious in a bathroom stall, because they were too polite to seek help. If you're a pedestrian and crossing a street, if you can see the sun's reflection on the windshield of a car, there is a good chance the driver cannot see you. If you drive after being up for more than 17 hours, the level of your impairment is equal to legally being drunk. Don't drive while sleepy. If you're first in line at an intersection, look both ways before going when the light turns green. You never know when someone is going to run a red light. Female heart attack symptoms are often different than those commonly described, and women commonly assume they are just fatigued or have the flu and die as they do not seek medical treatment. Uncomfortable pressure, squeezing, fullness or pain in the center of your chest. It lasts more than a few minutes, or goes away and comes back. Pain or discomfort in one or both arms, the back, neck, jaw, or stomach. Shortness of breath with or without chest discomfort. Other signs such as breaking out in a cold sweat, nausea, or lightheadedness. As with men, women's most common heart attack symptom is chest pain or discomfort. But women are somewhat more likely than men to experience some of the other common symptoms, particularly shortness of breath, nausea/vomiting, and back or jaw pain. Women are more likely to lack chest pain. Instead, they may experience shortness of breath, pressure or pain in the lower chest or upper abdomen, dizziness, lightheadedness or fainting, upper back pressure or extreme fatigue. If you are a woman you know is fatigued, out of breath, has jaw pain and neck tension, feels nauseous, etc., they may be suffering a heart attack. Chest and left arm pain is not a universal symptom. Edit. Panic attack symptoms often mimic heart attack symptoms. If you have chronic incidents where it feels you are having a heart attack, especially if you are cleared by any EKG or cardiologist, it is possible anxiety is the true source. In this case, psychologists and psychiatrists are ideal for helping you identify, manage and overcome your symptoms as well as providing techniques to prevent future panic attacks. If you ever are kayaking and become pinned upside down, swim down deeper into the water to escape the kayak. You may not be able to flip it over. When you go into a building, look for an exit that is not the one you used to come in. In an emergency, most people will head out their original exit, but you will head out of the exit less traveled, and it may make all the difference. If you fall into cold open water, resist the urge to swim and try to float until the onset of panic subsides. Once you have your breathing under control, you can then start to swim to safety. By doing this, you will not hyperventilate and avoid potentially drowning. To float, slowly lift your legs up, keep your arms out at surface and lean your head back. Yes, you will get water in your ears, just let it be. If you're ever charged by a moose, get behind a tree. They have about a 10-inch blind spot, and they'll lose you. Never use bleach and ammonia-based cleaning products at the same time / in the same room. A combination of both their vapors creates chloramine vapor, which can kill you if inhaled. Check your cleaning supplies to see what's in them, especially toilet and tile cleaners. If you've been buried alive in a standard coffin, stay calm. If you are alive, you haven't been buried that long. Also, the dirt above you hasn't set yet. Most coffins are not built to last once buried, and as a result have weak siding. So here is what you do. Pull your shirt over your head. You don't want to be swallowing or position yourself, so you are as sideways in the coffin as possible with hands and feet pushing on the long sides. Push. You should be able to blow out one of the walls. Start crawling up. Do not panic. You may not find a grip immediately. Keep going until you make it out. If you have to get through a locked door, don't charge into it with your shoulder. Instead, kick it straight on next to the doorknob / handle. This has a much better chance of breaking the lock. Edit. It's better to mule kick the door next to the lock instead of facing forward while you kick. It's safer for you, and you can apply more / better force that way. Always leave your itinerary with someone. If you meet strangers, that is, potential bad people, on the road, always let them know that you are in touch with friends and family, and that they know exactly where you are. You become less attractive as a victim. Always let strangers know that you have a destination, and are expected at a particular time too. If you call 911, always say where the problem is first, followed by the problem. If you happen to get cut off before you can say what the problem is, at least the dispatcher has a location to send an officer to check it out and advise if more police or fire is needed. Example, operator 911, where is your emergency? You, help, I'm being stabbed versus operator 911, where is your emergency? You, 742 Evergreen Terrace, help, I'm location. When you are staying in a hotel, take the time to read the diagram on the back of the door showing where the emergency escape route is. Take your room key with you if you leave the room in an emergency, as you might need to get back. Have your shoes on when the flight you're on is landing or taking off. Statistically, that's when bad stuff happens, and you don't want to be in bare feet for an evacuation. If someone is choking, ask them, are you choking? Bear with me. If they can answer you, they're not choking. If they can't, you can go straight to the Heimlich maneuver. If you're accidentally poisoned with methanol, ethanol is an effective treatment as medical help isn't immediately available. Don't get the drinks from the same place that poisoned you in the first place. If you are in danger or in need of help in a public place, it's almost always a bad idea to just yell help. It's more important to be specific. Pointing at someone and telling them to call 911 will be more effective. The bystander effect can't be a real bitch sometimes. If your car is going underwater, an electronic roll-down button will work regardless of the water pressure outside the car, but a manual handle is much more difficult. You also won't be able to open the door. It's better to have something in the glove box, like an ice scraper, to break the glass with. Mythbusters did a whole thing on it. If someone is trying to abduct you, fight back. Most abductors will just give up if they meet resistance. And whatever you do, don't let them take you to another location. When people say to take an aspirin to help during a heart attack, chew the pill, don't swallow it whole. It gets absorbed much quicker. 120 people will get bowel cancer in their lifetime. You need some sort of screening starting at age 45 to 50 depending on your family history. Any blood in the stool needs to be checked out. Early cancers can be completely cured with keyhole surgery. You don't have to die of bowel cancer. If you have what looks like a small pimple or a spider bite and you see a red line streaking away from that area towards your body, go to an emergency room. You likely have a staph or strep infection that is spreading through your lymphatic system or bloodstream, and your body can go septic at any moment. Sepsis lethality is 40–60%. This happened to me earlier this year, and I only knew how serious it was because of a post I read on Reddit years back. If you have to get out of a moving car, then put one foot down and take a step. Don't just jump out. This will reduce your speed immensely. Sure, you will fall over, but at a much reduced speed. A stuntman told me this. If you've been carjacked and the carjacker tells you to just drive, take whatever chance you get to wreck. At minimum, you're getting emergency services involved, meaning it's more likely they'll be caught, and there's a chance you'll incapacitate, or even kill the carjacker. Of course, there's also a chance that you might not survive, but if they were taking you to a second location, odds are you weren't going to come back anyway. The last time this was asked, I actually read something that later, at the very least, saved my ass. Don't try to put out a grease fire with water. You must smother it. When touching something electrical, use the back of your hand. Using your palm on, say, a live wire will cause your hand to grab it, and you'll be unable to let go.